Boom, what is happening, Vape fam? This is Joel of All Vapes coming at you once again, talking about the Black Unicorn today. Majestic as, well, you get the picture. Anyways, so this should be a pretty easy review. Black Unicorn has been around forever and a day, man. I don't know who's not in the know in the vaping industry, in the vaping world community, so on and so forth, that does not know who the Black Unicorn is. So basically what we're talking about is, as yet, 4 rock solid flavors, 60 milliliter chubby fat unicorn bottles, high VG, so pretty much dripping it is about the only way you really want to hit this stuff up and give it a fair shot, you know what I mean? The flavors are pretty much just fruit based, so for a lot of the fruit vapors out there, you guys are really going to dig this stuff. Now, I've talked to a bunch of people on my Instagram followers and some of my social media contacts. Everybody knows this stuff. Everybody loves it. But believe it or not, I have not tried this stuff until it was sent to me for review. We're going to break it down. Typical Joe of All Vape style here for you today. So first of all, like I said, high VG. So I'm busting out. I had to show off my new Dot Mod Petri 24 milliliter. Just, I don't know, I just like something a little bit fatter to hold on to. Busting out my 13 Heavens 9 Hells RDA. So clouds for days, folks. Cloud for days. That's all I can say. So we're going to go through the flavors here. The first one is Uni-Loop. Absolutely love the labels here, and the color on the mane and the tail on the Black Unicorn, very fanciful, majestic, if you will. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next flavor here is Uni-Apple. Lovely, lovely stuff. Uni-Chew is the next one, which is definitely one of my favorites out of the 4, and Uni-Do. Juicy honeydew melon combined with a plethora of strawberries for a flavorful explosion never experienced before. So it's true, I have never experienced honeydew melon mixed with strawberries before. Both are pretty good flavors on their own. Of course, mixing and blending flavors for a final result doesn't always come out as planned. It all depends on, you know, the ingredients, the quality of the ingredients, the steep, and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. But like I said, this stuff is fairly well known, fairly well liked among the vaping community, but I'm going to try and be as unbiased with this stuff as humanly possible. The one thing I will say about all 4 of these flavors is it has a very similar base flavor to it. So the individuality from flavor to flavor is obviously there. The consistency and the profile are pretty high. Sweet is pretty high. You know, cloud production obviously is high VG, so it's pretty much through the roof. The Uni-Do for me is actually what I'm vaping on my mod here. I'm actually going to reload this bad boy just to show that I'm not all hype. So, boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give it a little warm up. Predominantly, a lot of the melon vapes for me are pretty darn good, but this stuff just kind of came across as a little bit muddled. And what I usually mean by that is you can taste the individual flavors. You can pretty much see where they were going for there. But overall, it really just didn't do it for me. And I don't know whether it was the strawberry extract, whether it was the melon extract, a little bit of both working together. Something just didn't come across as 100% for me. And I mean, you know, it's one of those things. You can take it or leave it. But like I said, the consistency and the profile were there. The cloud production is definitely high, so it gets a 5 out of 5 on that one. Pretty much across the board as far as my rating system is concerned for all that stuff. So the sweet, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 because the sweet is definitely there. But that underlying base flavor, once again, just kind of, it's a little bit of a slap. It's not bad, but it's just something that I can't help but pick up from flavor to flavor. So you guys make the call on that stuff. Black Unicorn, the Uni-Do, I can take it or leave it. Like I said, I love a good strawberry. I love a good honeydew. But there's just something going on there that just doesn't make it an all-day vape for me. But I do enjoy the flavor. Uni-Chew is the next flavor on the lineup. So this one is described as a sweet, chewy candy with an explosive strawberry center that brings euphoric feelings with every vape. The only thing that kept it euphoric for me was the obvious resemblance to everybody's favorite strawberry chewy candy. I think that's pretty much unmistaken. The one thing I will say about this stuff is that I liked it a heck of a lot better than the UniDEW. I thought the strawberry was singled out just a little bit more obviously. Very mellow on the inhale and just kind of sweet and dissipating on the exhale. Nice cloudy flavor, if you will. The flavor on this stuff was a little bit more consistent than with the UniDEW, so I definitely will give it its props on that one. I think Black Unicorn pretty much nailed it with that flavor. Once again, though, unfortunately, had that baseline flavor profile. I just can't put my finger on it. Might be the sweetener that they're using, but, you know, whatever. I mean, not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. So the Uni-Apple is the next flavor, and they tout that as, imagine taking a bite into a freshly picked Fuji apple, crisp initial taste with a match perfectly with a nice tart finish. So definitely I got some apple out of this stuff, but the overall detailed profile of the flavor did not match to my personal palate. And you know, here's the thing that's really surprising to me up to this point. For the amount of people that I've talked to over these flavors that say, you know, they just rave over anything Black Unicorn, I am just not picking this up. What I will say is that the apple flavor on here is present, so I'll give it that. But the sweetness of the initial bite, you know, and the tart after finish, you know, it's just something is just not flowing right. Once again, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's going down to that base flavor that just really isn't making a whole lot of sense to me. Now, before you guys really start to pick me apart here, I do use the freshest coils every time I test a flavor. So I've been digging on this stuff pretty much all day. Same flavors, same consistencies, not much has changed up to this point. So I will definitely say that the UniAPPLE has a great apple flavor initially. On the exhale, you get a little bit of a tart, but that's about it. So I'm starting to think that maybe the sweetener that they use is either not very, very sweet, or they just don't use a whole heck of a lot of it. But what I will say about the UniAPPLE is that there's definite apple flavor there. Not quite as crisp, not quite as sweet or tart as they tout it in the description. But once again, just my opinion, guys. You guys can make your own informed decision. Try this stuff out. Definitely, if you've never given it a shot, always make your own informed decision here. Now, the Uni-Loop is the fourth and final flavor here, and pretty much serendipity, I kept my favorite for last. Now, here's the weird thing. Most of you guys know that I'm not typically a cereal vapor. I don't much care for a lot of the cereal blends, but this stuff is actually really darn good. So the description for this is dried fruit is added to a flaky cereal base for an out-of-this-world breakfast experience. Now, I will say that the profile and the consistency on this is pretty much top-notch, bar none. They really, really nailed it on this flavor. I don't get a whole lot of that base flavor I've been talking about on the Uni-Loop, and I think maybe it's just because the blend that they use sort of masks it a little bit more. You know, maybe just, you know, they steeped it a little bit better or something like that. The ingredient profile is just a little bit more off from the previous three. Whatever it is that they did, this stuff came through very solidly. So give it a little vape here. So the overall consistency of the flavors is a little bit of that citrus kind of traditional, you know, berry kind of a flavor, you know, Fruit Loops or Apple Jacks or, you know, something like that, Fruity Pebbles. So you definitely get a little bit of that. Now, you get a little bit of a milky undertone on the inhale, not too much. Maybe they could have raised it up just a little bit, but the one thing I will say about the entire Black Unicorn line is that it's obviously extremely individual, okay? They wanted to set themselves apart from everybody else. They're very, very well known, and hey, I'm willing to bet, man, if you go onto Instagram, their follower count is probably a heck of a lot higher than mine, more than likely for a very good reason. So they've been doing it a heck of a lot better than I have in terms of what they do, but hey, you know, they ain't Joval Vapes, I ain't Black Unicorn, you know what I'm saying? So the Uni-Loop, definitely a very good flavor. If you like your cereal vapes, you're going to dig this stuff. It's not too heavy on the palate. Inhale and the exhale is a solid flavor and a dissipation of taste. You pretty much get everything going on in there. It really is an even mixed blend. So all in all, the one thing I will say about Black Unicorn is that they've got their flavor profiles down. The one thing I can possibly say as far as any comment or suggestion is concerned, maybe just kind of look into seeing what's going on with just your base flavor profile, and you know, obviously, guys, try this stuff out for yourself. Okay, it's just, you know, this is just one man operation here. I do what I do. I love what I do, and I've tasted a lot of e-juice, and I've got a lot more coming. So it's just what I'm picking up. You know, hopefully this will be informative enough for you guys to make your own decisions. But that about brings us up for a close. If you dug this review, please spread the word here, Joe of All Vapes on YouTube. Check me out on Instagram at Joe of All Vapes. Put any comments in the comment section below, and definitely give this video a like if you dig it. I love the likes. It just keeps me moving and grooving, guys. So one thing I will say for the future is that I'm going to be doing live streaming webcasts on Instagram. Typically, I'm going to try to shoot for those on Thursday evenings. I usually shoot my video reviews between Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'd like to try and kind of separate it out a little bit, so that'll give you a good opportunity to come up with any questions that you have. I'm going to be talking about new things that are going to be coming up, advocacy groups and brands and more companies that I'm working with. Got a lot of stuff on my plate for 2017. It's going to be a really good year, so stay tuned for that. Then again, I also have for the new year of 2017 2 brand new giveaways coming up. So it's going to be a New Year's giveaway. And on top of that, I'm working on a really cool giveaway / raffle that I'm doing where 100% of the proceeds is going to go straight directly into advocacy groups. And I'm also going to be giving away some cool prizes to go along with that, just to kind of sweeten the deal up. I've got a ton of companies, a bunch of contributors and sponsors that are adding to the list. The pile is growing high, guys, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, once again, guys, thank you very much for your support. Black Unicorn, really appreciate you sticking it through with Joe of All Vapes. The one thing I will say about the Black Unicorn is that they're coming out with 3 brand new flavors for 2017. Going to be unveiling those in January, and I got my little cheat sheet here. UniCOCO is one of them, and that's going to be a coconut and pear blend. Pretty excited about those ones. That's pretty much 2 of my favorite flavors of anything. UniCAKE is going to be a blueberry crumble flavor, and UniNuts is a hazelnut and almond flavor. Those are going to be called the Wyte Bottles. Again, those are coming out in January 2017, so hopefully Black Unicorn isn't going to hate this review, and they're going to want to send me out the 3 flavors of the Wyte Bottles for review. Once that opportunity comes up, I'll definitely let you guys know. So this is Joe of All Vapes, your eye in the vaping sky, asking you to stay humble. Love yourselves, love each other, and you keep it cloudy.